Hey everyone, this is Rabbi's blog, and welcome to another In Theater movie review series. So today's In Theater movie review I'll be reviewing today is Spider-Man Far From Home. And before I get into this, I would like to remind everyone that new videos will be posted up every Sunday and Monday. If you happen to see any video posted up during the week, that must mean there was a bit of TV or movie news released during the week that I wanted to cover. But new videos will be posted up every Sunday and Monday. So now let's get into this review of Spider-Man Far From Home. So Spider-Man Far From Home is the first movie, the first MCU movie that was released after Avengers Endgame. And I'm gonna start off this review with a minor spoiler. For those of you who haven't seen Avengers Endgame, unless you've seen Avengers Endgame, it's not really a spoiler. But for those of you who haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet, this is a minor spoiler, so I'm about to go into spoiler territory right now. So here we go. So after Tony Stark dies in Avengers Endgame, okay, spoiler over. Peter Parker decides to go on a class trip to Europe with his classmates Ned and MJ. And Peter wants to get away from all the superhero business and wants to actually relax on this vacation while trying to tell the girl of his dreams MJ about how much he feels about her. But when Peter Parker ends up going to Europe, it turns out that the city is being attacked by these elemental monsters, and it turns out that Peter has to don his Spider-Man costume again to fight off these elemental beings, these monsters. And along the way, Peter Parker meets a mysterious guy named Mysterio, and Peter Parker hits it off with him. And they become good allies, but then there are like more mysterious events unfolding as Peter Parker tries to figure out what's causing the elemental being monsters from coming into the city and attacking the city. And that's pretty much the gist of Spider-Man Far From Home. So what are my thoughts about this movie? I really enjoyed this movie. I think this is like one of the funniest movies I've seen so far this year. I really like the fact that this movie has a perfect balance between drama and comedy. Like you got a lot of comedic moments about with Peter trying awkwardly to ask MJ out, and then Ned dating this new girl throughout the movie, and then you got the drama scenes where where Spider-Man is trying to fight off these elemental beings while trying to figure out what's really going on with these elemental and these monster beings. And I also like the fact that I do personally think this movie was a little better than Spider-Man Homecoming. That's my personal opinion. Some people might disagree with that, but I do think this movie was way better than Spider-Man Homecoming because the pacing is a lot better. There's a lot more humor in this movie, and the action sequences are more well done here in this movie than the first movie. But again, that's just my opinion. I also like the fact that how they develop each character. Like I like what they done with Peter Parker in this movie. Like we get to see how Peter is struggling with trying to live a normal life as a 16-year-old boy. He wants to just spend quiet time with his classmates and be able to ask the girl of his dreams out on a date. But because he's also an Avenger and Nick Fury asked him to come and fight off these monsters, Peter just can't really have a normal life that he really wanted. And we get to see that unfold in this movie. We get to see how Peter's struggling with trying to decide if he wants to be a superhero or he wants to be a normal teenager, and we see how much is killing him inside. And I think Tom Holland's performance as Peter Parker in this film was very well done. He's able to give like a sad side to Peter Parker, like showing how Peter Parker is like so conflicted about the whole situation about being the superhero and trying to be a normal teenager at the same time. And I think he conveys those emotions so well. Like he's able to be happy whenever Peter Parker is acting happy, but he's able to be sad when Peter Parker's sad, and I think he's able to convey those feelings very well. And I like the fact that this conundrum that Peter goes through throughout the film, it comes straight from the comics. So we start to see more of the comics lore pop up in this movie, which is great. Because in the comics, Spider-Man also has trouble trying to juggle between his superhero life and his normal life. And we get to see that in this movie too, as Peter Parker struggling with trying to be a normal teenager while trying to be a superhero at the same time. Excuse me. And I also like his growing relationship with MJ. Like in the last movie, we didn't get to see much of a relationship between him and MJ because MJ just kind of come up at the last second of the movie. But here she gets more fleshed out, and we get to see her relationship with Peter grow a lot more in this movie. And I really enjoy that aspect. And excuse me, I was really surprised to see Mysterio in this movie because in the last few Spider-Man films we never saw Mysterio pop up, and he's always been one of the main characters in the Spider-Man comics. So it's great seeing Mysterio here, and I think Jake Gyllenhaal plays a good Mysterio. He's really nice and mysterious, and I like that fact about Mysterio. And I'm just happy to see Mysterio pop up in this movie. I think he's like one of the best Spider-Man villains I've seen in the new MCU universe. So, I mean, you know, Michael Keaton in the first Spider-Man movie as the Vulture was really good too. But Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio in this movie was awesome too. So I really like this aspect of Mysterio's character in this movie. Um, I also like a lot of the comedy moments in this movie. I like the fact that this movie has a good balance between comedy and drama, and I actually found myself laughing a lot throughout this film because there's just so many funny moments with Spider-Man and his friends, and there's a lot of funny moments with Spider-Man and Nick Fury. There was even this one scene in the movie between Spider-Man and Nick Fury that I was just laughing so hard with, and so was the audience with me. Like, I was in a very lively audience this time around, so we were all laughing so hard at that scene, so that was awesome. Um, and also, the special effects for the film was very well done. Everything looks so realistic, especially the elemental monsters. So I really like that aspect of the film. And then I love the plot twist that happened in this movie. Like, I can't tell you what happened in the movie because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. For those of you who haven't seen this movie yet, but there's a lot of plot twists that happened in this movie, and they were very well done. And it's got me wanting more from the Spider-Man in the MCU universe, and I can't wait to see if they're gonna make a Spider-Man 3 in the MCU universe. I'm really excited to see how that unfolds if they do make a Spider-Man 3. So I'm really excited about that. Some problems I did have with this movie is well, for one thing, this has nothing to do with the movie, but I kind of came in the movie like 10 minutes late early on because I went to a different theater for this movie, so I kind of missed the first 10 minutes of the movie. But, you know, that didn't really matter to me at the end because at the end I still love this movie. But yeah, it's just a small little note that I wanted to point out to everybody here. But regarding the film itself, I will admit there were some comedic moments that felt kind of awkward here. It's like they show some of these comedic moments and scenes that's like, you know, this shouldn't be funny or anything like that, and yet you're showing this moment now in this dramatic moment. So there were some moments in the film where they try to be funny with the characters, or they try to put in a joke, and it just felt awkward, or it felt a little forced. Like, it felt like this whole film got to have comedy and jokes and stuff, and I'm like, no, not necessarily. You know, just because you're a feel good superhero movie doesn't mean that you got to have comedy all the time. You just need comedy in the right places. And again, there were some times in this movie where the comedy felt a little forced or felt a little awkward at times. But overall, you know, I really love this movie. So my rating for this movie is buy it. You better buy it. It's definitely worth buying this movie, especially if you're a huge Spider-Man fan. I do personally think this movie was better than Spider-Man Homecoming. Again, a lot of people might disagree with me on that, but I do personally feel like this movie was way better than Spider-Man Homecoming because the pacing was a little better. And I just love all the plot twists that happen in this movie, and it's got me wanting more from the Spider-Man universe. I'm really excited about this, what the Spider-Man's role is going to be in the MCU movie for it. So I love this movie. I just enjoy it so much. So now here's my sound effects reviews. Uh-huh. Oh. So those are my sound effects reviews. And have you guys seen Spider-Man Far From Home yet? If you have, did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Please let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter so I can keep you updated any new videos I post up. And also, like my Facebook page, Rabbity's Blog's Best Comments. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Rabbity's Blog, and I'll see you later. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to support this channel, then I invite you to join the exclusive community over at my Patreon account. You will have the opportunity to chat about movies, TV shows, video games, and animation with me and other fellow patrons. Thanks for the support. You guys rock.